Tanya, Samach Beis Amar Aleph. Tanya Omer Rabbi Akiva. We learned in a Braisa, Rabbi Akiva said as follows: Pamachas, once, Michnasti Achar Rabbi Yeshua leBeis HaKisei. I followed Rabbi Yeshua in the bathroom. And the Gemara will explain why he did this. But V'lamadati Mimenu Gimel Dvarim. I learned from him three things. Gimel Dvarim. Lamadati She'ein Nifnin Mizrach HaMayrev. I learned the position that he did what he had to. It was not Mizrach Ma'ariv, as we learned yesterday in the Gemara, that not his front or back should be facing the Beis HaMikdash, but he should be in a position of tzaf and darim, so that only his side should be facing the Beis HaMikdash, not to be exposed towards the Beis HaMikdash. El tzaf and v'darim. V'lamadati she'ein efraim me'umad. And I also learned that he should not do what he has to standing. This is, we're talking about number 2. Ela miyushav, sitting. V'lamadati, I also learned from him, she'ein mekanchem biyamin ela b'smayil. I also learned that the person should not wipe himself with his right hand, only with his left hand, as the Gemara will soon bring many reasons for this. Amalei ben Azai said to Rabbi Akiva, At kan ha'asta panecha berabcha. Such a azas panim, such a chutzpah to follow your teacher into the bathroom. Amalei, so he answered him, Teirehi v'lilmoid anitzarech. It's not, he wasn't going in with any other kavana, other than simply to learn the halachas of Torah, how things have to be done. And as the Mashas explains, there are certain things that you can't ask. It wasn't derech eretz, it's not sneeze, it's also to ask such kind of things. He's going to ask him directly these specific questions about what he does.
The angel is the answer to the question we asked a minute ago.
Okay. L'mayl of anything. Even in such a matzav, he's there and he has to see what the Torah is. Yeah. Another story. Benat Tanya, Ben Azai says, Pamachas nechnasti achar Rabbi Akiva lebeis hakisei. He entered and followed Rabbi Akiva into the bathroom. Yeah, so Rabbi Akiva had the same thing done to him. V'lamadati mimenu gimel dvarim, and I learned 3 things. Lamadati she'ein nifna mizrach ma'ariv el tzafin v'darim. The position the person should be sitting in should be tzafin and darim. The same 3 things we just said. V'lamadati she'ein nifram umad. Elam Yushav, the person should be sitting. And a person should wipe himself with his left hand, not with his right hand. Amal Rabbi Yehuda, so Rabbi Yehuda said to Ben Azai, Atkane asta panecha berabcha, such a kind of azos that you follow your Rebbe into the bathroom. Amalai Teiri v'lilmud anitzarech. It's Teira, and this is necessary for me to know the halachas of Teira. Rav Kahane, another story the Gemara says, which goes even a step further. Rav Kahane entered into the private bedroom of his teacher Rav Gonet Tuse Puriya de Rav, and he was sleeping under the bed of Rav privately in his bedroom when Rav was with his wife. Shamei the Sach v'Sachak. He heard Rav that was laughing and speaking to his wife. V'Asatzrachav, and did what he did, the relation between husband and wife. Amalei, so Rav Kahane, Vir, then, under the bed, comments to Rav and says, Dami pume de Abbe kedulei sharav tafshila. The mouth of Abba, the way you're speaking and the way you're doing this, is like a person that hasn't eaten food in a long time. Like Rashi says, like a hungry person that's doing this with such a kalos, with the way you're speaking. That's what he commented then, b'shas ma'isa. Amalei, so Rav responds to him and says, Kana hocha'at, is this you here in the room? Puk, go out, the lav oirachara, it's not derech eretz for you to be here. Amar loi, so Rav Kahane says to Rav, Teirehi v'lilmud anitzarech, but it's Teira, and therefore I'm only here for the purpose to learn the anhaga of what has to be done, and it's Teira like anything else. These were holy Tanoim and Amirayim, so for them it was just a matter of holy Teira to know what has to be done. Now the Gemara comes back to what was said before, that a person should use only his left hand and not his right hand to wipe. Why should a person not use his right hand? Only his left hand. Rav answers, the Eibishter gave Torah with his right hand. From his right hand comes the fire of Torah. So to give this special chshivas to the right hand, resembling the Eibishter's right hand, you shouldn't wipe with your right hand. Rabbi Bar Chana Amar, because the right hand is closer to the mouth. Okay, a person uses it more in connection to his mouth to eat with it. Rab Shimon ben Lakish Amar, Rav Shimon ben Lakish says, the right hand is the hand that you tie a tefillin on your left arm. So that's the holier hand that you use to do the mitzvah of tefillin. So therefore, you shouldn't wipe with your right hand. Rav Nachman, between these reasons, what would be the nafkamina? Yeah.
If it's mimina eish Islamite, then that's a fact. And then you always, but if it's about righty or lefty, then...
Very good. In Allah, it's actually brought, Alter Rebbe brings this whole thing in Shulchan Aruch, and he says that this is all regarding a person that's right-handed. But a person that's a lefty, you have to do it with the right hand, because that's the hand that he doesn't tie his tefillin with. Exactly. Weiter the Gemara says, Rav Nachman by Yitzchak Ama, mipnei shemara bo taimei teira. With your right hand, a person uses it to show the signs for Torah. What does this mean? Rashi says this goes on the time in Negina, the trop, which says the different signs, right? You ever see they show the Baal Kaira. So Rashi brings this thing that the person shows, it's already brought in Rashi, that a person makes the signs with his right hand to show the time in Torah. Rashi brings, Re'isi b'kairim habayim me'eretz Yisrael. I saw people that are Balkaitis coming from Eretz Yisrael that they use their right hand to show the signs of the Kriya, so therefore you shouldn't use that same hand for this thing.
It goes back that many years.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. It's a taka machlokes how far back this goes, the taimi and the gina and using the hands, but Rashi brings it here.
I think how they put film on shouldn't.
And good, but that's not. Well, here we're talking about an action. When it comes, so the Marsha brings this up. The Marsha says when it comes to the shoes, so the actual shoe that you put on first is the left, What? Is the rechte shoe, right? And then you tie with your left hand. Okay. No, the Mashal brings it up over here. No. Okay, let's go weiter. Rav Shimon, where am I holding? Ketanoi. Oh, so this is a machlokes Tanoim. This is the hand that a person eats with. His hand is in the food, so he doesn't want to wipe with his hand. This is the hand that a person writes, and a person writes divrei Torah with his hand. So we see over here that Tanoim already said these reasons that we said before. A person that acts modestly in the Beis HaKisei, Nitzol mishloisha dvarim. He'll be saved from three different things: man anochoshim, from snakes, man akrabim, scorpions, and man mazikin, or any other mazikin that are there in the bathroom. As we'll see in a moment, Amalek Tzait in the outhouse. It was a place where people were very afraid to go there alone because there were snakes, there were scorpions, there were even shadim, mazikim there. But if a person acts modestly, then he'll be saved of all of these things. And another thing, af chalei meisav miyushavim olav. The dreams that he'll have will also be settled, will be good dreams. He won't have any mazikim that will come to him in a dream to scare him. Hahu beis kisei dahava betverya. There was this beis kisei that was in the city of Tverya. Kiyava ailu beitrei afile biyamama. Even when two people went in there together, even during the daytime, mitzaki, they would still get harmed from the mazikim that were there, which is unusual. Because usually we know that during the day the mazikim are not around as much, and usually when two people are together, the mazikim are afraid. But over here, there was such strong mazikim that even then they would be harmed. Rab Ami v'Rabasi, but in that same bathroom, Rab Ami and Rabasi have a ailu bechad v'chad. They would go in separately, one at a time, l'chodei v'loy mitzaki, and they wouldn't be harmed. Amru l'hura bana loy mistafisu. You're not afraid to enter into this bathroom separately when we know that people get harmed there. Amru le anan kabbalah gamrinan. We have the following tradition. Kabbalah, the Beis HaKisei, the tradition that's important for the Beis HaKisei is tzniusa ushtikusa. Modesty and not to speak, to be quiet, as we'll see soon in the Gemara. So if a person is modest and is quiet, so then the mazikim don't have a koyach to harm him. Kabbalah di Yisura, there's another tradition regarding a person that experiences Yisurim, Shtikusa, that he should accept it quietly, Umi Boya Rachmi, but he should daven to the Eibishter. This was a whole sugya we had in the first Perek of Brachos about a person accepting Yisurim Ba'ava. When a person accepts, but he davens and the Eibishter should heal him. Abaye, a story with Abaye, Merabi Le Ime Imra, his mother, it wasn't actually his mother, Abaye was a Yasim, it was his stepmother or maidservant that raised him. So she raised a lamb, Lemeo Bahadeh LeBeis HaKisei, that will go in together with him when he went into the bathroom. He was afraid as a child to go into the bathroom himself, so he had his pet that he would bring along with him to go into the bathroom so that it would scare off the mazikim. Fragt the Gemara, was happens Imra, which is a lamb? V'leravile Gadia, why not a goat? And for the Gemara, Seir b'Seir. The mazikim appear also in the figure of a goat, and when they see another goat there, so they think it's like one of them. It doesn't scare them off so much. So therefore it was dafka imra, a lamb. Sagt the Gemara weiter, sorry, I missed one word. Seir b'seir michlaf. So a goat and a goat could be exchanged, so therefore they don't get so afraid of it. Rava, now the story with Rava regarding entering into the bathroom. Mekamed ha'avereisha, before he became the Rosh Hashiva, Mekarkeshalei bas Rav Chisda, the daughter of Rav Chisda, which was his wife. We had this before in the Gemara. So she would shake to make a noise in order to scare off the shaitan. What would she shake? Amguze belakna. Walnuts that were in a copper dish. And she would shake that to make a loud sound so they would scare them off. That's what she did before he became Rosh Hashiva. Basa the Malach. After he became Rosh Hashiva, so now he was even more afraid. He was even more afraid, so therefore what happened? His wife would do something else. Avdelei kavsa, that is, she created a window, an opening where she can put her hands in. Umanchele yada aresha. She would place his hands on his head while he was there in the bathroom in order to, he shouldn't be afraid to be there with the shaidim alone. And that's what Rashi says. Once he became Rosh Hashiva, he was even more afraid. Because he was a prominent figure, the shaidim have a reason why they want to even hurt him even more. So even more, he was more afraid, so to shake and make noise wasn't enough, so she would place her hand on his head while he was there in the bathroom. And this example is the example that's brought in the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, that a person that enters into a bathroom outside alone and he's afraid, so another person shouldn't come in together with you, but he should stand behind the wall and he should place his hands through a window over your head. Sagt die Gemara weiter, Omar Ule said, Achoyrei ageder. If a person is behind the wall, nifne miyad, you can immediately do what he has to right over there. He doesn't have to go far away. The Gemara here is discussing mitzat tznius. How far does a person have to go in order to do privately what he has to? So if it's a chayrei ageder behind the wall, you don't have to go far away. But if a person is in an open place, there's no wall, it's an open valley, you have to be far enough that if a person is passing a gas and the sound is not heard by anybody, that's far enough. Isi ben Nosson masni hachi. Isi ben Nosson said as follows: when a person is behind the wall, that's not necessarily good enough. Only if a person is passing gas and your friend can't hear that. So even behind the wall, you still have to go far a little bit. But when you're in an open place and there's no wall, you have to go far enough that your friend should not be able to see you at all. Much further away. So the Gemara asks a question on this. Meisvei. So this is a Braise, or it's perhaps a Mishnah, that talks about a person that's standing guard on a press of olives. He wants to make sure that nobody enters into the press to make it tummy. So he has to stand guard there. But he has to use the bathroom and he has to go out. So even while he's standing guard, how far should he go to use the bathroom and he can still be sure that the olives and the oil inside is still tahir? So Yotzim Pesach Beis Abad, those guards can go out of the opening of the Beis Abad, v'nifnin la chayrei ageder. And they can use the bathroom behind the wall, close enough. And what's inside, the oil inside will still be tahir, even if he walks out right over there. So we see over here that when you go out, you can do it right behind the wall, and you don't have to go further away. This is a question on, who was it before? Isi ben Nosson, that says you have to go further away. And for the Gemara, but tares hekilu. Regarding tares, they will makel because the person has to remain in close proximity to stand guard. So they will makel over here that a person should be able to do it closer by. Toshama. Take a look at what it says in the Sefer of that Mishnah. How far could these guards go away, and still what's inside the press should still be considered tahir? As if a person is going to a place where his friend could still see him, he could still see who's entering. So as long as you still are close enough that you could see if anybody entered into the press, so then it's still tahir. So what do you see from here? When a person is going and doing what he has to use the bathroom, even if he goes out, he's going to a place where he could still see who enters. What did the Isi Bar Nosson say before? You have to go out far to a place where you can't even be seen at all. And for the Gemara, Again, Shani Eich Litar is Takilu Burabonon. Over here, regarding this case, because you have to remain guard for the things that are inside, so over here the Chachamim were Mekel. But usually you should go further out. Rav Ashi Amar. Rav Ashi has a different interpretation. What does it mean that you have to go far enough that your friend can't see you, which Isi ben Nosson said before, the Kame Isi ben Nosson, if as long as you're far enough that your friend can't see anything that's exposed in you, the person that uncovers himself. But it doesn't mean that you have to go so far out that your friend can't see you at all. As long as he can't see anything exposed, that's far enough. And therefore it's not a stira to this mission over here. The person goes far enough that he could still see who enters and his friend could see him, and therefore he could still keep an eye, guard on what's going on, but he's far enough that whatever is exposed is not seen. Sagt the Gemara weiter, Hahu Sabdona. There was this person that was a eulogizer. The Noches Kameder Rav Nachman, he came in front of Rav Nachman, and Omar, he said, hi, this individual that passed away, Tzanua bar Chaysav Ava. He was very modest in his conduct. Amalei Rav Nachman, so Rav Nachman said to him, how do you know? How could you say this in a eulogy? At Eilis Bahadei Lebeis Akisei, V'yadis Itzanua Ila, you went together with him into the bathroom to see whether there he conducts himself modestly or not. The Tanya, we learned in a Braise, Ein Kairin Tzanua, El Tzanua Beveis Akisei. When is a person really a Tzanua if he follows the laws of modesty even when he's in the bathroom? So how would you know? How could you say that he's modest? That's the Taina Rav Nachman had to this person that was eulogizing and said this. Threck the Gemara. Rav Nachman, my nafkele minei. Why did this bother Rav Nachman? Why does he care if he was eulogizing him and calling him tzanua, if it's true or if it's not true? Leave it alone. Why is Rav Nachman having a taina? And for the Gemara, Mishum the Tanya, because we learned in a different braise, kishem, shenifraim, and amesim. Just as a person that he's being eulogized for something he did in this world, and if it's exaggerated and it's not true, so then the person will be scrutinized more. He'll be punished for that. That look what they're saying about you, and it's not even true. So too, the person himself that eulogizes and says this is also punished for saying this which is not true. And also, and those that answer amen, and those that listen and don't say and don't comment anything, they're also punished for this. So therefore, Rav Nachman that heard this being said, and he knows that he didn't even know if this is true or not, so he didn't want to accept it.
This is the meaning of Chabad, not to do a hesped.
Perhaps this is the makir, the meaning that we don't make a spadim. Who's really considered to be modest? That he goes far out to use the bathroom, as far out as he goes by day. Even though by day it's light and the person has to have that privacy, and by night it's dark and nobody sees him. But if he goes out by night like by day, that's modest. Is this true? A person should try to make it a custom to go out to the bathroom in the morning before it gets light and by night after it's dark, so that he doesn't have to go so far out, because if it's dark, you don't have to. So you see that you don't have to go far out when it's dark. So, another thing we know, Rave b'yamama avazal admil, Rave, his mitzvah tznius. During the daytime, he would go so far out as a mill, but when it was at night, he would tell his servant, "Panali duchte, make me a place right over here, but even in a corner in the street, in the middle of the street of the city, he wouldn't go anywhere far out." So Rave himself, there was a big difference between by day and by night. So how can we say that a tzanua is an individual that goes far out even by night? Rab Zera also said to his servant, go see who's there behind the Beis Chavraya, which is a place where all the Chaverim, everybody is learning Torah in the shul, because I have to use the bathroom. So he didn't go far out. And for the Gemara, what was meant before was don't say that a person is tsanua if he goes out far to a place by night, like by day, ela rather ema kederech shenifne bayayim. In a similar way as he uses the bathroom during the day, which refers to how much he exposes of his body. There's the halacha we learned already before in the Brachos regarding how much a person should expose of himself. They do it in the most tznius fashion. If a person does that by night and by day in the same way, that shows an extra tznius. Rav Ashi says a different shot. We can say that the statement before refers to the place that the person goes by day and by night. What it's referring to is a person that's going into a corner. That by daytime, a person is not going far out, he goes into a corner where he's not seen. If a person does the same during the night, that he doesn't go far out, you don't have to go far out, but he goes into a corner where he can't be seen, that's the tznius of the person. Guf, going back to the statement that we said before, a person should make it a custom to use the bathroom in the morning before it's light and by night after it's dark. So he doesn't have to go out far. As we learned before, going out far, there's mazikim, there's shadim, there's nechashim, makrabim, so it's better to do it in a time when you don't have to go out far. Tanya Nami Yochi ben Azayim hashkem v'tzei, wake up early and use the bathroom. Hare v'tzei, and then late at night use the bathroom. Kadei shaleitis rachik, in order that you shouldn't have to go out far. Mishmesh v'shev v'al teishe v'temashmesh. Okay, what this means over here is, Rashi says, a person that's constipated and he has to help himself and manipulate himself and help himself to be able to do what he has to it should come out. So he should do it before he sits down and not after he sits down. It's dangerous for the person if he does it after he sits down. Because if a person does it after he sits down, even the kshafim that exists far away, the mazikim that exist in aspamya could come and attack him in the bathroom. And if he forgot and he sat down and then he was memashmish in the bathroom, what does he do? Kikoi, when he stands up and he wants to get rid of the shadim, Leime should say as follows. Leimahachi. This is what he should say. Loi li, not to me, not to me. Loi tochim v'loi tachtim, not tochim and not tachtim, which are two names of kishif, of shadim. Loi hani v'loi mehani, not from these, not from any of these. Loi charshe de chashaya v'loi charshe de charashta. Not the ones that are coming in a zacha form and not ones that come in a keva form. So you should say this lachash, so to speak. You should say this thing to fight off the shadim. Tanya ben Azayim. Ben Azay said as follows: Al kol mishkov shachav. A person can lie down on anything, on a bed, on a couch. Anything is okay to lie down on. Shachav, you can lie chutz min akarka. But to lie down directly on the ground is not healthy. It's not good. A person can get a cold from the karka. Al kol meishav shev. On anything you can sit, which is it's steady and it's okay. Chutz min hakayre. Besides sitting on top of a beam, that could be dangerous, and the shadim can come and scare you and throw you down. Shmuel said, Shino ba'amud hashachar, sleeping in the early morning, right by when the amud hashachar. Ke'isteme leparzela. It's very, very healthy for the person. It's as good as steel is for iron. Steel is more refined iron, and the steel is used to reinforce iron. They coat the iron with steel in order to reinforce it. A person sleeping early in the morning is very good for him. Similarly, Yitziyah b'amud hashachar, using the bathroom early in the morning, kistam leparzela, is like steel for iron, which strengthens the person. Bar kapara have a mizven mili bedinri. Bar kapara would sell his words of wisdom for money. Okay, he wouldn't sell his divrei Torah for money, you're not allowed to, but he would give advice, words of wisdom for money. Some say it means kipshute, some say it doesn't mean kipshute. B'chlal, this whole next thing in the Gemara over here, some say it's all a mashal, some say it means kipshute. Let's see. What would he say? Ad chafnes echoil. When you become hungry, when you feel hunger, you should go and eat. Don't allow that hunger, that feeling of hunger to go away and then eat. When you feel the hunger, then you should go immediately and eat. Ad tzachis, while you're still feeling thirsty, shasi, you should immediately drink. Ad rascha kidrach, shvaich. If your pot is boiling over, which means a person feels that he has to use the bathroom, you should immediately use the bathroom. Don't wait until you don't have that sensation anymore and then use the bathroom. You should use the bathroom and relieve yourself immediately. Karna, karye beraimi, when they blow the horn in the city of Rome, which was the sign that it's the time of the marketplace when people are selling things. Bar mazvin taini, the son of a person that sells figs, taini davuch zavin. Even if your father is not home and he's not around, don't wait until later when people will leave from the marketplace. If now they blew the horn, go out and sell the figs immediately. Doesn't seem to be very unbelievable things that are worth that much money that Bar Kapara is saying. So therefore the Mefarshim that say that this whole thing is a mashal on divrei Torah and so on. Okay. Sagt die Gemara weiter. Amalu Abayem, the Rabbanon, Abaye said to the Rabbanon, Ki ailisu b'shvilu de mechuza. When you go through the alleyways of mechuza, lemepik be'bechakla, to go out into the field in order to use the bathroom, le'tachsi le'lahachkisa v'le'lahachkisa. You should not look not on this side and not on the other side. Why? Because Dilma Yasvi Nashi, possibly there are women there as well that are using the bathroom, and it's not the way to look, it's not the right thing to look at them. By the way, it's brought in Shulchan Aruch. Benegayet to this is we had before that a person shouldn't speak in the bathroom, which is a halach in Shulchan Aruch. That at the same time, though, regarding women, the way it was then, when women would go out into the outhouse, Chachamim were misakin that two women should be together and they should speak to each other while they're there inside. So if a man comes along, he should hear the voice of women and to know to wait. Sagt die Gemara weiter. Rav Safra ola beis hakise. Rav Safra was in a bathroom. Also Rav Abba, so Rav Abba arrived, nochale above, and he coughed at the doorway. He didn't want to speak, but he coughed. Amalei, to make a sign that he needs to enter. Amalei, so Rav Safra responded, Leomar, you can enter. I'm done, you can come in. Basa the Nofeg, after Rav Safra, after Rav Abba that is, came out, Amalei told Rav Safra, Ad ashter le'ailis l'seir. You haven't come to the place of Seir, which is where the place where Esav is, where Edom is. V'gamris le'lachmili de Seir, and you have learned the custom of the Goyim of Seir. You're acting like the people of Seir. Why is that? Lav hachitnan. Didn't we learn this about what happened in the Beis Hamikdash? That medura haisasham. There was a medura, there was a torch of fire that was there to create heat for the Kayanim. Ubeis hakisa shel kavod, and there was the Beis hakisei. This is why it's called kavod. You're giving the person his honor. Matzai na'ol, if you find the door locked, you know that there's somebody there and you wait. Matzai psuach, if you find the door open, you know that there's nobody there and you could enter. Alma, what we see from that Mishnah is lav oirecharehu. It's not the way for a person that while he's inside the bathroom to speak. They designed it in a way that you shouldn't have to speak. You should be able to see on your own if someone is there or not. Like today, when you have the sign where it says vacant or occupied, so you don't have to speak. So why did you speak inside the bathroom when you said that I should enter? So they had a big time on him. For who savar Rav Safra? Why did he speak? He thought mesukinhu. He thought that he's a mesukin. He thought that. Who was it over here? Rav Abba. Rav Abba that wanted to enter, he mamish was a mesukkin. He needed to immediately tell him that he could come in, and it wouldn't be enough to make a sign, to cough, to show him that he could enter. Why? The Tanya. So we learned in Abraise. Rav Shimon ben Gamliel said, Amud hachayzer. Amud, which is when a person is relieving himself, and if it returns, if he holds it back and it returns, we're talking over here about an Amud HaChayzer, which is number 2. Maybe it's Adam Lidei Hadreikin. It could cause a person to become sick with Hadreikin. What's Hadreikin? Okay, which causes the stomach to swell. Sila HaChayzer, if a person there's a Sila, number 1, which returns and he holds it back, maybe it's Adam Lidei Yarkain. It brings a person to Yarkain, which is what? Jaundice, I think? Jaundice? Okay. So, therefore, he spoke in a case where he thought it was a sakana, so therefore he told him that he could enter.
Halacha, you shouldn't speak, right?
Correct, unless there's a sakana, but halacha, you're not allowed to speak in a bathroom. Rabbi Loza olabeis hakisei. Rabbi Loza entered into a bathroom. Asahu parsa. This Persian, or others are guided actually, that it was a Roman, entered into the bathroom, dachake, and pushed him away. Kam Rabbi Loza v'nafak, so he got up and left. What happened? He stayed around to see what happened, and he saw asa Darkaina, a snake came and shamte lekarkashte, and he killed him by from the bottom. He pulled out and he killed this Roman that pushed him away. Rabbi Loza said a pasuk on him, ve'etein odom tachtecha, and I will place another person there in that place where there's a danger instead of you. And that person was killed instead of you. Al tikri Adam ela Edom. This guy from Edom pushed away Rabbi Lazar, and instead of Rabbi Lazar himself being bit by the snake, now he was bit by the snake and was killed. Sagt the Gemara weiter, v'amar lahargecha, and I said to kill you, v'atochas alecha, and I had mercy upon you. What is this pasuk talking about? This is a pasuk that's talking about David HaMelech is saying to Shaul. David HaMelech had an opportunity when Shaul HaMelech was chasing him. He had an opportunity to kill him, And he didn't. Instead of killing him, what did he do? The pasuk there says he took off a piece of his garment, and then he came to Shaul HaMelech and showed him, look, I have a piece of your garment. They were in a cave together, and he had a piece of his garment, and he had the opportunity to kill him, and he didn't. And I had mercy upon you. So the Gemara asks, V'amartimi boyalei. The pasuk should have said, David HaMelech is speaking about himself. He's speaking to Shaul. He should have said, I said that I have an opportunity to kill you. V'tochos, and there was mercy. V'tochos, and he had mercy. V'chastimi boyalei. He's speaking about himself. I had mercy. Rabbi Elazar explains what happens is as follows. Amalei David l'Shaul. David says to Shaul HaMelech, Min atayre ben hariga ata. Min atayre, you're chayiv misa. Why? You're chasing me to kill me. Someone that comes and chases you and wants to kill you, so you should kill him first. So min ha'Torah, I have the right to kill you. Ella, rather, what happened? Tznius shahaisabach, the tznius, the modesty that I saw in you, he chasa alecha. That is the source of the mercy that was upon you. So that's the va'omar and the v'tochas. The Eibishter says, the Eibishter is the one that had rachmanis upon you because of the tznius that you had. Umaihi, where do you see the tznius of Shaul HaMelech? Chsiv, it says in another pasuk, va'yovay al gidrei satzayin, he came to the pen of the sheep, al aderech on the way, v'sham mayra, and over there was a cave. Va'yovay Shaul lahasachas raglov, and Shaul came and used the bathroom there. Tana, so we learned in a braisa, geder lifnim migeder. He went in a place, there was one pen of sheep within another pen of sheep. He went deep inside. And also, mayra lifnim mi mayra. There was a cave, and then there was a cave within a cave. And he went all the way deep inside. Lahasech, and then it uses the term lahasech. Even when he was doing what he had to, he covered himself like a sukkah. He covered himself with a garment not to be exposed, even though he was so hidden inside a cave within a cave. That was the extent of Shaul HaMelech's tznius, and that's what saved his life. So what did David HaMelech do instead of killing him? He cut off a corner of his garment. So Rabbi Yosi Bar Chanina says, a person that does not treat a garment with the right honor that it deserves, and over here he cut off a piece of a garment and he ruined the garment. Seifen and enemhem. In the end, he won't be able to derive benefit from a garment. Shenemar, it says in another pasuk, Va'melech David zokem baba yomim, and David the Melech came in his old days, Vayechasu babegodim, and they covered him with clothing, and the garment did not give him the warmth that he wanted from it. And this was all because he didn't give the garment the right honor by Shaul HaMelech. Sagt the pasuk weiter. This is also again in another occasion where Shaul HaMelech was chasing David HaMelech. So then Shaul HaMelech David HaMelech had the opportunity to kill him and he didn't. And David HaMelech says the following expression: Im Hashem asischa bi yerach mincha. If Hashem is the one that hesischa, he has convinced you. He used the lashon of hesischa. If the Eibishter has convinced you to kill me, so mincha. Instead, you should bring a mincha. So he used the term legabi the Eibishter. He used the term hesischa. Amar Rabbi Elazar. So Rabbi Elazar says, Amar Hakadosh Baruch Hu leDavid. The Eibishter says to David HaMelech, Mesis kadesli. You're referring to me as a mesis that I am. This is a term that's usually used regarding avodah zarah. When one person convinces another person to serve avodah zarah. So the Eibishter says to David HaMelech, you're calling me a mesis that I'm convincing David HaMelech to kill you. Harei ani machshilcha, I will cause you to stumble. B'davar shafilu tenekasho b'srabin yodim, I say. Even something that even little children know about this. It says in the pasuk, when you want to count the Yidden, how do you count Yidden? You don't count the Yidden directly. You have to. They gave the chatzi, the machtas hashekel, and you count the coins, but you're not allowed to count the Yid directly because it causes a plague. Miyad, immediately what happened here with David HaMelech, Vayamait Satan al Yisrael, the Satan came upon Yidden, Uksiv, Vayoses as David, Bahem, Lamer, and he convinced David HaMelech as follows, Leich Meneius Yisrael, go count the Yidden. And David HaMelech counted the Yidden without Machtas HaShekel. What happened? V'kivin de Maninu, as soon as he counted the Yidden, V'kivin de Maninu and Leishakol Minayu Kaifer, he counted the Yidden, he did not take from them a Kaifer, he did not take coins. T'chsev Vayitin Hashem Dever B'Yisrael Me'aboiker V'ad Eis Moyed. And then what happened was there was a plague that came upon Yidden from the morning until Eis Moyed. What is Eis Moyed? My Eis Moyed, Amar Shmuel Sabeh Chasane de Rab Chanina, Mishmei de Rab Chanina. He said in the name of Rab Chanina, Mishas Shchitas Atamid. The plague began from the morning when you could bring the carbon tamid at Shaz Rikasai, until the time that you sprinkled the blood on the mizbeach. So it was a plague for a pretty short period of time. Rabbi Yochanan says at chatzais mamish. At shas moed means until the final time that you have the option of bringing the carbon tamid. That means from the morning until chatzais. The first half of the day there was a plague. Vayayim alamalach hamashchiz ba'am rav. The Eibusha says to the malach that going and is mashchis, he's killing amongst the Yidden am rav. The simple pshat is a big part of the nation. Amar Abelazar, Amalei HaKadosh Baruch Hu LaMalach. The Eibusha says to the malach, Toili rav shebehem. Take away the life of a rav shebehem, of a great person amongst them. Sheyesh boili paramem kama chayvis. This will be mechaper on many of the averis of the Yidden. As we know, when a tzaddik passes away, it brings a kapara on the Yidden. So Ba'isa Shah, who is this great person that passed away? Meis Avishai ben Sruya passed away. Sheshakal Keruba Shel Sanhedrin. He was so great, he was as great as the majority of the Sanhedrin. Sagt die Gemara weiter.
You let him choose.
Huh?
You let him choose whoever to take.
Well, over here, the Eibusha told him specifically to take away a great person.
But you didn't tell him who.
Correct. Okay.
Don't get too big.
Ubahashchis Ra Hashem, and the Eibusha saw the destruction. Vayinochim, and he regretted. He changed his mind. What exactly did the Eibusha see? The pasuk doesn't say. Myra, when during the plague, what did the Eibusha see? Rav, so Rav says, Ra Yaakov Avinu. He saw Yaakov Avinu, D'chsiv, Vayeme Yaakov Kasher Ra'am. It uses a similar term over there, Ra'am, that he saw them, referring to the Malachim that were together with Yaakov. So over here as well, the Eibusha saw that protection that the Yidden deserve, which is the protection of the Malachim. Shmuel says, Afrei Shal Yitzchak Ra. He saw the ashes of Yitzchak there constantly, the zchus of the Akedah. That is what the Eibusha saw. Even though it was not mamish the ashes of Yitzchak, it's the ashes of the ram that was brought instead of Yitzchak, but it's considered to be the ashes of Yitzchak that the Eibusha saw there. Shenamar alakim yireh lo yaseh uses the term of yireh, so it's connected to the word ra. That's what the Eibusha saw. Rabbi Yitzchak nafcha ma kesef kippurim ra. The Eibusha saw the money that was used the first time around when the Yidden were counted in the Midbar. Shenamar v'lakachtas kesef kippurim eis b'nei Yisrael. So even though this time the money was not used to count the Yidden, but the Eibusha saw that money that was used the first time around. Rabbi Yochanan says Beis HaMikdash Ra. The Eibusha saw the Beis HaMikdash. T'chsiv b'har Hashem Yeroah, on the mountain of Hashem, on Har HaMoriah. That's what he saw, and that's what stopped the plague. The Gemara brings this as machlekes, the same thing from other Amiraim. Pliga bar Rabbi Yaakov bar Idi v'Rab Shmuel bar Nachmani. They argued about this. Chadam b'kesef haKippurim Ra. He saw the money that the Yidden gave in the Midbar, and that stopped the plague. V'chadam b'Beis HaMikdash Ra. Another one says he saw the Beis HaMikdash, and that stopped the plague. On Mestavere, command Amma Beis HaMikdash Ra, Shenemar Asher Yoma Hayoim Bahar Hashem Yeroah. When it comes to the Beis HaMikdash, it says Yahayoim, which means that every day, all the time, the Eibusha sees the schos of the Beis HaMikdash. We learned in the Mishnah, Lo Yikonis Adam La'arabayis B'maklei. You shouldn't enter the Beis HaMikdash with your staff and other things that it mentioned there regarding not entering into the Beis HaMikdash. And then one of the things that it says over there is a kapandria. What's a kapandria? What is this? My kapandria. What is this? Amarave, the Rava says, kapandria kishma. Like what its name is, which is a shortcut. Don't make the Azara, the Beis HaMikdash that you enter into, a shortcut. V'Rav Chana barade mishmei de Rav Same berei de Rav Mari Amar keman da Amar inish. It's like a person that says ademakifna adori. Instead of going around these houses, eyil baha, I'll go through them to make a shortcut. So in other words, the word kapandriye is sort of shortening this ademakifna adori eyil baha. It's a combination of all of those words. A person that enters into shul not with the intention to make it a shortcut, he's going into daven, he's going in to learn. So then he could use it as a shortcut. So if he entered from one side and he has to go to the other side of the shul, he could go out by the other door and go where he has to. He doesn't have to leave from the same place he came and go around. Sagt die Gemara weiter, Rabavau Amar, if the place where the shul was built was lachatchila, a route that everybody passed through, and the shul was built on that route, so then you're allowed to use it as a kapandri, you're allowed to walk through there. Amar Abchel by Amar Avona, Hanichnas lebeis haknesses leespalel. You enter into the shul to daven, mutar l'asayse kapandria. So then you're allowed to walk out on the other side and use it as a shortcut. Shenemar ubavoy amaras lefnei Hashem b'mayedim v'goymer. It's a very long pasuk, and over there in the pasuk you see that when they came into the Azara on the south, they would leave the Azara on the north. So they would end up walking through the Azara to leave, because they came into the Azara for the purpose of when they were Oile Regel, they were in the Azara, and then they walked out on the other side. So this is the Indian of a shortcut. There's a letter that I saw from the Rebbe, where a very interesting thing. The Rebbe says similarly, just like a Beis HaMikdash and a shul, that you shouldn't make a shortcut. The same thing is also with Eretz Yisrael, which is a holy land, Eretz HaKadosh. You also shouldn't turn it into a shortcut, which means you shouldn't go to Eretz Yisrael stam to pass through or stam to go around, just for touring purposes. But if you go to Eretz Yisrael, you have to go there to make a kviyas there, to be there to make a kviyas there. Not stam to make. If once you make a kviyas there, that you're there, then you could make it into a shortcut as well, as we learned over here. Something that the Rebbe writes in another letter, that a person shouldn't travel to Eretz Yisrael stam just for the sake of touring alone. Eretz Yisrael is a holy place, and you don't go to Eretz Yisrael just to tour a holy place.
What's kviyas?
Huh?
What does it mean kviyas?
To learn Torah, to daven. Learn Torah and daven, and then, yeah.
But the Rebbe said to go to Australia, at the Pesach, you go to Israel.
Okay, that's andere mice. You have to go around the world, correct?
No, from Australia to go to Israel, so you shouldn't lose a day for the...
Yeah, okay. Sagt the Gemara weiter, Rekike mekavachayme. What did it say in the Mishnah? You're not allowed to spit in the Azara, in the Beis HaMikdash, because with the kavachayme. The Gemara will soon say what the kavachayme is. Amar Rav Beivai, Amar Rav Yeshua ben Levi. Or Bivi, Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Kol haroikek bar habayis bezman hazeh, someone that spits in the har habayis even today, when the Beis HaMikdash is not standing, kilu roikek bavaseina, as if you're spitting into the pupil of the eyes of the Eibishter. Shenema v'hoye einai v'libi sham kol hayom, and my eyes and heart are there all day. Amarava rekike bebeis hakneses sharya, to spit in a shul is permitted. Midi dahava aminol, just like it's permitted to enter with shoes, even though you're not allowed to enter into the Azara with shoes, but you're allowed to enter with shoes, so you're allowed to spit as well. Ma minol baharabayis also bebeis hakneses is mutter. You're not allowed to enter in the Azara, but in the shul you are allowed to. Afrikike barabayis udaser, it's only also in the harabayis, but bebeis hakneses shari. In the beis hakneses you're allowed. Amalei Rav Papa l'Rave, so Rav Papa asked Rave. Instead of comparing spitting in a shul to the fact that you're allowed to wear shoes in a shul, why not learn out from the fact that you're not allowed to make the shul a shortcut? So maybe you're not allowed to make it a shortcut, and you're not allowed to spit in the shul as well. So why are we learning out l'kula? Maybe learn out l'chumra and compare it to the fact that you're not allowed to make a shul a shortcut, so you're not allowed to spit in the shul. Amalei Tana b'minolei, Tana yalef b'minol. The Tana compares and learns out spitting from not being allowed to wear shoes. And you say to compare spitting to making a shortcut. We're supposed to compare spitting to not wearing shoes. Where do you see this? Mahi. Tanya, we learned in Abraisa, lo yikonas adon l'harabais, a person shouldn't enter into the harabais, lo b'makle, not with a stick, should be yada in his hands, v'loi, b'minol shabaragloy, not with the shoes, v'loi b'moy satzrudim, lo b'sadinoy, not money that he has in a handkerchief, v'b'pundasai, in a mufshalas la'chayrov, and with a package that he's throwing on his back, v'lo yasena kapandriya, and not make it a shortcut, shiderech b'zayin. All of this is a b'zayin for the Beis HaMikdash. I missed something, sorry. Yeah, okay. And he should not make it a shortcut, or a kike, and also he shouldn't spit in the Beis HaMikdash, mikal v'chaymer. And the Braise says this is a kal v'chaymer. What's the kal v'chaymer? So here the Braise explains, miminal. The kal v'chaymer is from wearing shoes. If shoes, which is not a bizayin to wear shoes, the Torah says, remove your shoes when you're in a holy place. Spitting, which is a bizayin, for sure you're not allowed to spit. So we're learning not spitting from wearing shoes. That's the kal v'chaymer. Rabbi Yosef bar Yehuda oime ein tzarich. You don't have to have a kal v'chaymer. Harei oime ki ein lovei al shara melech b'levush sak. Esther told Mordechai, I can't walk in front of the king with a sack clothing. So we have a kal v'chaymer from the sack, not from the shoes. Wearing sack clothing is not despicable. So in front of a king of flesh and blood, you shouldn't come in front of him. Spitting, which is despicable. For sure you shouldn't come in front of the king of kings and spit over there. Okay, so what do we see over here? In this Braisa, it compares and learns spitting from shoes. It doesn't compare and learn it from making a shortcut. So why are you asking me a question that I should compare spitting to a shortcut? Amalei answered him, this is what I was saying. Maybe we could say that it's l'chumre and the azara, that you learn it from shoes to be machmer, and in a shul you learn l'chumre from a shortcut. It's not a contradiction. The amen I should say as follows. Harabayis the asa b'minal, leilfa miminal. In harabayis that you're not allowed to wear shoes, so you learn that you're not allowed to spit as well from the shoes. Aval, Beis HaKnesses, in a shul, the shari b'minal, where you're allowed to wear shoes, ad yalef miminal, instead of learning it out from the shoes, v'laheter, and to say that it's permitted to spit in the shul, neilef mekapandriya v'leser. You should learn out from the fact that you're not allowed to make a shortcut through a shul, and it should be also to spit. So it's not a contradiction to the Braisa. The Braisa was talking about the Beis HaMikdash, and I'm talking about a shul. The reason why you're allowed to spit in a shul is similar to a person's house. In a person's house, you don't want anyone to make a shortcut through your house. But a person that wears shoes in his house, or a person that's spitting on the floor in your house, a person is not makbid, especially on Malda, where they didn't have the finished floors the way we have today. So to a shul, to make a shortcut is forbidden, but rikiko and minol shari, to spit and to wear shoes in a shul is permitted.